Things tightening up in the Eastern Conference and plenty of late drama next on The Daily. Welcome to The Daily for Monday, July 30th with Andrew Wiebe. I'm Jason Segini. If you haven't checked out the new standings page on MLSsoccer.com, do so because it is tightening up in the East. And it starts with Montreal getting a big 3-1 victory over the #1 team in the Eastern Conference, the New York Red Bulls.
Yeah, this one's on the back of their big-time Italians. You've got Alessandro Nesta making his debut in this one. A solid performance from him, although you can tell maybe the fitness not quite there, understandable. But the biggest story, Marco Di Vaio finally getting off the schneid. It's been a while now, a few months, and you could tell it was starting to weigh on him. When will that goal come? When will that goal come? Finally, it came, and it was a beauty. He went right inside that back post to get Montreal off the mark. Davy Arnaud making it two. Thierry Henry bringing one back, maybe a little bit of hope for New York, but Sene extinguishing that one. A big win for Montreal and a good sign of things to come with both of these two playing well.
Yeah, I mentioned New York, the top team in the East, losing. The #2 team in the East, Sporting Kansas City, they lose as well, 2-1 in Columbus. And then Houston Dynamo get a 2-0 victory over Toronto FC. That means there's a little bit of a logjam up top, but it left a lot of room for the lower-seeded teams to try to come up the standings. And Philadelphia, one of those teams, got a huge, dramatic victory over the New England Revolution last night.
Yeah, Jack McInerney, simply the man last night. A beautiful goal to end the game, a very, very well-placed header. Shannon Williams with a perfect ball to the back post in stoppage time, and Jack Mack comes up with the goods, heads it low and past Matt Reese. A devastating loss for New England. It looked like they were in line to get that draw. They have to be disappointed as well. It looked like Jack McInerney was outside the box on the PK call initially that got the Union their first goal, so you have to think Jay Heaps is shaking his head after this one.
Yeah, plenty of controversy from that game, including 2 penalty kicks not called. At least it balanced out for each team. So the 6th, 7th, and 8th teams in the Eastern Conference all get victories, tighten up the standings in the Eastern Conference as we look into the second half. East, the opposite seems to be true in the West. The bottom 3 teams in the Western Conference all lose their games. Chivas USA, the only team outside the playoffs looking in to get a victory. They're trying to keep the playoffs within sight. In the Western Conference, this started on Friday night where Real Salt Lake got a 2-1 victory over the Vancouver Whitecaps at home. Alvaro Saborio with 2 goals. That pulled them to within 1 point of the Western leaders and the Supporters Shield leaders, the San Jose Earthquakes, and it looked like it was going to stay that way until late. San Jose and Chicago on Saturday night in a dramatic finish.
Seems like we've been saying that all year about San Jose, and once again it was just a matter of time. Steven Linhart popping up, Chris Wondolowski chesting the ball down in stoppage time. It must be said, the Chicago Fire were not happy with the length of. He pile drives it inside the far post, and what can I say? San Jose goes crazy once again. A great game though. Chris Rolfe with a beautiful curler into that far post to the outside of his right boot. But the big performer in this one, regardless of San Jose's drama, regardless of Linhart, Sean Johnson. What a game from him. A heavy favorite for Player of the Week already. 5 or 6 highlight reel saves. Just incredible stuff from him on a great night in San Jose.
Yeah, Steven Linhart wig night, so fitting that he scores the game winner. The other matches in the Western Conference, Seattle and LA both go on the road and get victories. Big results for them.
Yeah, now Seattle 5 unbeaten in MLS play. We didn't think we'd be saying that a little while ago when they were struggling and have to explain themselves in their slump. And then LA, what can you say about them? We knew that that run was coming at some point despite the early season slump. They're now within a point of both Seattle and Vancouver and eyeing a run up that Western Conference table, and they did that without David Beckham or Landon Donovan against Dallas.
There's plenty of non-MLS action this weekend as well, and we'll start in D.C., where D.C. United ties PSG 1-1. Not a bad result for them. Ibrahimovic gets his first goal in a PSG uniform. You can check that out on Kick TV. Also have to get to this, the Olympics, a lot going on. Even though the U.S. not in it, MLS represented well, and Honduras with 3 MLSers gets a huge victory over Spain.
Yeah, a shock result, and Spain is now out of the tournament thanks to a goal made by MLS. Sporting Kansas City's Roger Espinoza sending in the cross. The Jerry Benson headed home. Jay Heaps has to be happy about that. 3 goals in 2 games for the forward.
All right, and one other thing we should mention is Houston Dynamo look to be negotiating with former Houston Dynamo midfielder Ricardo Clark. If Jeff Cameron is headed to Stoke, this could be big to kind of fill some shoes there.
Yeah, it looks like that move is going to be made official at some point here, everything pointing in that direction. But even if it doesn't, Ricardo Clark, a huge addition for them. I know they tried to keep hold of him before he left for Eintracht Frankfurt. A big, big pickup for them if that indeed does happen.
All right, there's plenty to talk about, obviously, and we'll have it all on Extra Time Radio later today. You can get that on iTunes or Buzzsprout, or go to MLSsoccer.com/extratime. We'll be back with plenty more on the Daily tomorrow.